Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look at a scenario into what would happen if Ukraine joined NATO. Well, we know Ukraine's at war, so in real life they can't join, but let's say NATO changes their expectations. Well, I'm going to say Sweden ends up joining, because Sweden wants to join. And that's so much. Ukraine starts going into negotiations, trying to end a war with Russia. But at the same time, Ukraine's making advances. I think Russia sometimes makes small advances. Let's say they do just that in Ukraine's war. I have the CSTO and NATO shown up to the north. Let's say they move to the north in Kherson. Somehow get to the north. They can't. But what if they did? With Ukraine making a few steady advances with Western flow technology flowing in, they talk to NATO, negotiate joining. And Moldova goes to the same meeting. Why would they both go? Because they can. Although Moldova is at war with Russia. Not at war, but at war. They're both welcomed into NATO, as they both join NATO. Russia's infuriated. And I mean infuriated. They even let Bosnia join. Why would they do that? Because they can. Serbia's infuriated at this. And now Russia starts lining all of NATO's borders with troops and is in huge conscription as it's saying NATO has directly attacked us. And they get the CSTO wound up by it and stuff. They get Serbia wound up. They get everyone wound up. And that's weird. Just in case that was a problem. Because it shouldn't be doing... What is it doing? I'm gonna kill my map. That's not even the same color. Stop it. Don't know what this is. Or how to stop it. So we're kind of in trouble. I think it's just... might be Russia have? That is very weird. I have to say. Oh my god, I know what's happening. It's confusing the colors. See, guys? We're just confusing the colors, I think, because they were so similar. Of Russian allies calling this a direct engagement, and that this should have not been a direct engagement, but NATO says, well, you join NATO, we defend you. Russia and the CSTO already, with 2 nations joining now into NATO. 3 nations actually are joining NATO. Kosovo joins NATO. Georgia, Azerbaijan. Well, Russia will be getting help from Iran for some reason. Syria and Lebanon. Iraq basically does nothing. But since NATO's now moving its troops all over the place, and Ukraine's going to probably have to help out, I guess, they might be able to take on their home front. But they realize there's going to be less Western technology coming because of this engagement, but they don't think Russia can do much. Russia right now is about to take out Lithuania, but there's a lot of troops in Latvia, basically. It makes it kind of hard. Or at least there is. But a lot of these troops are probably going to have to be taken back soon. With Russia's exponential charge, Estonia and Latvia are on the last attempt to live. And also, Russia's made a landing in Finland and is now moving into Finland. With all the troops leaving the Baltics, the front has now grown smaller. Maybe. With Russia using this opportunity of less weapons getting to Ukraine to make a seize a lot of its lands, even crossing the Dnipro again, and they move up towards Transnistria to help them move into Moldova. And they move down Serbia claims that Srpska is still theirs, and that they deserve Srpska, and Srpska is theirs taken illegitimately from the West, and so is Kosovo. And that's why NATO doesn't like countries that are at war. Also, I think Bosnia isn't allowed to join NATO or something. With Serbia also moving into there. Although, there are nations at war with Russia, but not at war with Serbia. That would include Romania's Greece. And Romania and Greece is not at war with Serbia yet. And then moving into Bulgaria and Macedonia. With that being basically their push. Iran and Armenia make an advance into southern Azerbaijan, but Azerbaijan manages to hold. Russia is too busy seizing and taking lands from Georgia along with Armenia to even remotely worry about taking out Azerbaijan, who sees this as an opportunity and attacks, because this isn't the major front. And with the last hold of Georgia about to fall, which it does, Turkey is pretty much on its own. With them getting 2 pushes on the front. But they don't really mind this, because as this was happening, they were moving into Syria. There's actually multiple fronts. With the Syria invasion being authorized now. Maybe not authorized, but yeah. As they encircle the capital of Syria and take Syria out, they have more stuff to do. More movements to do. As they move deeper into Poland. With after the attack on Poland moving forwards, NATO is now having to split troops in Poland, Ukraine, around Serbia, and in the Middle East. Turkey has a lot of forces, allowing Russia to heavily move. They even march into Romania a bit, which Romania basically has nothing they can do about this. Finland, they have basically started 3 fronts, basically. One headed to cut Finland in 2, and another one trying to take Helsinki, and this one just pushing in. But Finland, like they do, opens a front line shockingly in the north. Now, didn't you agree this is a bit shocking they opened a front in the Arctic? But yeah, and Russia's infuriated because they have a lot of weapons stored there or something, I think. And yeah. The advance is heavy. But is it strong? Who knows? And then Ukraine gets advanced in from Belarus in the north, and from the east into Cherniv and Sumy. And Serbia moves up north, with Russia making a front line down into Poland, over here. And Moldova has finally capitulated, which means Transnistria will be put in power. And Transnistria declares war on NATO, with new governments being enforced in this region, mostly out of wartime, the war basically. With the Baltics, in fact, having to sign a treaty with Russia, probably. That's what Russia's planning to do. Serbia joins in on the advance by moving in through Hungary, which almost nobody cares, as Transnistria is in charge of Moldova. And yeah, with a narrow area to get supplies to the east becoming more and more, as Bosnia and Montenegro has fallen, with Russia deciding to annex Belarus. during the war as a gateway for annexing the Baltics. Why would Russia do this in the middle of a war? Who knows? But a lot of borders do change during wars. Some of the people fighting now are on Russia's team, but they're not there because they want to, like Moldova, but because they're forced. Like Russia forced the Baltics to join them, and Belarus. Which is a bit seeming odd, for the most part. With the Russian front line and the Ukraine being made broader. And yeah. With Serbia finally going to war with Romania. Well, Russia's coming up with scheming about what to do with Ukraine. But Ukraine's people are willing to fight to the end. And I'm looking like this. You know what does Russia do with the areas of Ukraine they occupy? Well, they sign a treaty. Russia has now created a puppet in Ukraine, including annexing a big chunk of Ukraine and Moldova's fully integrated into Russia. With Ukraine becoming a puppet, but Ukraine is still not a puppet, if that makes sense to you guys. Russia illegitimately annexed them, as well as Georgia, which is pretty Russia-ish to do. With Russia starting to claim victory, Serbia is planning on annexing to make Yugoslavia, but their plans are halted when Italy comes from the north. Romania from the east, Turkey and Greece from the south, Poland and Hungary from the north, cutting them off from Russian supplies. And then everybody meets up, encircling Serbia. And at this point, this is where Turkish forces are seen entering, along with Bulgarian, Macedonian, Albanian, and Greek troops are seen entering into Serbia, with Hungary pushing down from the north, along with Croatia pushing it. And Bosnia is re-liberated, and Romania finally kicks them out. And once this happens, bombing campaigns take place in Serbia. And Serbia capitulates. With Central Asia seeing this and not wanting that to be their fate, they change their minds about this war, which infuriates Russia, but there's nothing they can do. They could declare war. Oh my god. Look what they just did. They're going to force their hand now. But the funny part is about forcing their hand is that they are routed. I literally mean routed, guys, trying to tell Kazakhstan what to do. They march into Kazakhstan saying, you have to join our side. Of probably 50,000 troops, this is, because Kazakhstan isn't that big of an area, but big land, little population, I believe. Russia all happy that they're winning here. Kazakhstan's people are like, no, you don't. A lot of them saying, long live Kazakhstan, and whatever languages. And Russia kind of just leaves Kazakhstan and says, yeah, you can leave the war. As they left their troops, all these nations decide to leave a war. They don't need to fight Russia. Although Kazakhstan's thinking about re-entering the war soon. With the fall of the Finnish front by Russia, this is a full embarrassment. And then the fall of Russia's puppet happens. And everybody's singing. The end of Russia. Turkey comes after Iran, and so is Azerbaijan. With the U.S. finally landing troops in Iran's south. With Azerbaijan's capitulation happening fast. The capitulation of Iran is a big one, a long process. But at the end, they win. And Iran, after losing most of its capital, the people just give up and say to Iran, no. And yeah. Romania marches in along with Ukraine into their lands. Azerbaijan marches into Russia along with Turkey and the US. As Finland heads for St. Petersburg, this is where Poland's big push happens. With Russia being seen as the biggest danger in the world now. With everybody moving in fast, including the fall of St. Petersburg, Russia's on the brink of collapse. And as we see, Kazakhstan enters the war for a second time. But except this time, they enter on the side of NATO. And this is probably what would happen if Ukraine joined NATO, except Russia would be cakewalked quicker. You know why? Because there's no way they're putting on this fight, in my opinion. Why is that my opinion? Because they can't. Look at them in Ukraine. Do you really think a nation getting routed in a country, the 15th strongest nation, is routing the second strongest nation? But yeah. And yeah. As the front gets super big, Russia is now threatened for their existence. And what? Oh wait, I forgot about one front. With the help of Japanese intel, America. And now this is where Japan and South Korea enters the war. They've been in the war all along, just secretly. But now they're officially joining the war and saying now for the downfall of Russia. To the fall of Russia. To the fall of Russia is being said. To the fall of the tyrannical Russian state. And to the Republic of Russia. And the people hear about this. I guess you could say Russia's becoming the Comintern again. With Russia laughing because they know they'll win and saying they'll win and that they're not losing. And they say that the UN should put sanctions on America now. Oof. And Russia saying, let us free. Russia says no. So the Russian people rise up in the steppes of Siberia. And they say enough is enough. And they say enough is enough, Russia. Enough is enough with losing this war. Enough is enough. And just like the Russian Civil War, Russia lost. And thank you guys for watching. Now, Azerbaijan annexes some of lands with similar ethnicities to theirs, or same. I think they're similar. And same. Most Azeris live in Iran. Romania took Moldova, Ukraine became big, so did Poland, Lithuania became a country, Baltica became a country, Finland became great again, Finland, Polarian Union, Belarus is just there, Kazakhstan became weird looking, and Japan annexed quite a bit of land, South Korea got none, but New Alaska was made, which is in Kamchatka, so they called it New Alaska. And one sec so I can find some 85 subscribers, which means $15 goal before August 1st of 800 subscribers. So if you could, please subscribe. And there will be a special at 800, just not a big special, because somebody gave an idea for an 800 subscriber special. The next big subscriber special is at 1,000 subscribers, but there's going to be an 800 subscriber one, because somebody gave me an idea for it, so stay tuned. And I think we'll get there in, at most, 2 days. Because you guys are so great at subscribing. So just subscribe. And subscribing helps my channel grow. Leave a comment. Tell me how you liked it. If you didn't like this video, like it. If you like this video, like it. But tell me in the comments, did you like this video or not? Do you have any good ideas? Put it in the comment. Want a video made? Special? Leave a comment. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video to people you know. Wild Mapper out. Banana.